Good morning to the viewers of the live stream, whether you're watching live or after it saves as a video. Very early stream today, but that's because I always say whenever I sit at my computer, that's when I go live now. There's no set schedule, and there's a lot I want to look at, so I figured why not live stream it. Did I pee the bed? No, it's 10 o'clock where I am. I've been up for 4 hours already. I know a lot of you are sitting on the beach in California. It's only 7 a.m., but it's 10 a.m. for me in Detroit. Piece of monkey trash from Cleveland. See, it's 10 a.m. for him as well. He's been up for 4 hours already. Getting ready to waste $7 on a latte. Is that how much coffee is? I don't drink it. I wouldn't know. So today's August 2nd. Now, what do I want to look at? I want to look at a bunch of stuff. What do we got? Okay, we did get a Floki spike. That's what I have written down. I wrote maybe Floki spike. Now, it was very small, but we did get a very large Shiba spike. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong coin. All right, what else did I write down? Yeah, unfortunately, the IBIT RSI never reached what I wanted it to reach. Which is really tragic. However, looking at it closely, it did come back to this trend line. Now, this could be enough because typically when a bull trap forms, you break the trend, but you only get one big bull trap per bear market. Maybe two. So maybe that's all it is. Maybe the rally's already over. But it never hit my box. My box I had was here. We never hit it. But if I look at it from this perspective, it does make sense because the rallies get weaker each time. So I do have to be open to that as a possibility. Definitely have to be open to it. Yeah, see, from this perspective, it makes a little bit more sense. We did come back up. Yeah, I wonder if the top is already in. I don't know. I'm open to it. I'm open to it. We never turned light blue, unfortunately. Right? I put light blue on the heat map. We did get regular blue though. Did get regular blue. Oh, it says we hit the box. Oh, we did hit the RSI box. Yeah, I got that checked off. Right? The RSI hit 62. Did it? Yeah, 61.75. Oh yeah, maybe. Oh no, it was 61.50. Okay. Yeah, but that's close enough. 7 daily super guppy needs to change colors. That I don't think we got. That I don't think we got. Daily super gup. Oh, well, it turned gray. Looks like we got a daily arrow. That's not good. Oh no, look. Yeah. Oh, well, you guys can't see my other screen. No, look, it did turn gray. And in the other bear markets, that's what happened. It turns gray and then it goes back down. Oh, maybe the top is already in. Yeah, see here it turned gray. I was waiting for it to turn blue, but it doesn't have to. Yeah, look, did we? I don't think we got a blue arrow though. Yeah, we didn't get a blue arrow. Yeah, I didn't see that. Wow, it did turn gray. That's bearish. Yep. All right. Now, did Ethereum top with Bitcoin or I think so, actually. All right, ETH topped on the 27th. Actually topped after. Yeah. Now, ETH technically did fulfill the prophecy. Not to mention you got the correct color candles too. Light blue, light blue, light blue. Yeah, it's possible the top is in already. I'm gonna be open to it. And I'm also open to one more push. That's interesting. And we do have the stock RSI. We do have the stock RSI rolling over, which is of course bearish. Well, I guess it's not rolling over yet, but it's overbought. All right, so we're getting some. We definitely got this. I never looked at. I never had this perspective. I didn't realize it was making lower highs like this. So this could be the top already. I also wanted to look at the super guppy on the smaller time frames. All right, we do have a red arrow and we are printing a blue web again. Yeah, I think this week is the last week and then it's going to be bearish. Eight-hour guppy turned back to being blue. also present in May. Did mark the low here, but we turned green up here, whereas here we did not. 12-hour, where? 12 hours blue as well. I guess there's always a chance we're here, but that doesn't really make that much sense. Not impossible. I want to see. All right, so this is still bearish. That doesn't really help. Yeah, that doesn't really help. I used the other website, paints a better picture. Yeah, see, we have yet to hit red. I really think this paints a good picture. In every bear market, we hit red. We haven't hit it yet. And it is getting close. Yeah, man, I'm pretty sure the next move has to bring us below 53,000. It has to. It has in every market cycle. It's the missing piece. This guy said breakfast edition. It's almost lunchtime for Mr. Meows's. You have a cruise on the 31st. Why don't you just sail from California to Florida? This guy says, I salute your dedication. Yeah, slapback. The sad thing is, I'm not doing this for YouTube. I'm doing it for me. That's why if I ever get out of here, I'm never coming back. I'm not. In 2024 and 2025, I was streaming because I wanted to be a content creator. Now I'm streaming because I would be sitting here doing the same thing even if I wasn't streaming. That's why I'm streaming. Because I'm trying to make a plan for the next 2 to 3 months and then the next 2 to 3 years. And I figured, why not stream it? Because maybe I'll get some ad revenue. If not, I don't, it's okay. But once we get to a point where it's too dangerous to stream for me, I'm just not going to stream. Because I don't want to be influenced by the outside forces. But we're not there yet. But we're getting there. because I want to go really into detail and make a really in detail plan, but I can't do that while I'm streaming. So I'm just covering the basics. But once we start to break down, that's where the live stream ends. I was hoping it would have been when we hit 68K and the chat would get toxic, but we never reached it. It never came. Maybe it still does, but I can't wait for it. Maybe it doesn't. And that's why once we see this, like once we see a move back to the low, that's whatever gets tagged first, that's probably where I stop streaming. Whether we break 68K, which by the way, it's not even 68K anymore. It's actually come down significantly. Now, technically, we would just have to go back to where we were at 67K. It fell from 67.8 to 66.8, which is a big difference. 3 p.m. It's 3 p.m. for Richard Desmond. Where the hell is it 3 p.m. in the world? China? You're 3 hours from now is... Yeah, you're 6 hours ahead of me. Where are you, China? Australia? Good I might. No clue how people are bullish in crypto. I mean, I was bullish in 2022, so you believe what you want to believe. But I'm also self-aware that in 2022, I ignored all data. And that's why this market cycle, I'm only following the data. And we're doing okay. This guy said he's probably in South America and then writes Spain. My man. Spain's in South America. My man. 3 p.m. in England. That's true. I didn't think of that. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, half of my viewers are in England. Guess I didn't think of that. Good thinking, Spanky. Somebody commented about SOXL. Yeah, B-Mouth says, I check socks, it also goes down with SPX. Yeah, that's what I look at. The reason why I'm not obsessing over the drawdown percentage is because I don't know how much it's going to draw down. But I don't have to know how much it's going to draw down. That's why I only look at the S&P 500, because whenever the S&P 500 bottoms, that's where the semiconductors bottom. I just don't know how deep the correction is going to be, but I don't have to. Either SPY goes like this and I get in on the semiconductors, or SPY goes like this and I never get in. I can only buy in when we're here. Because if this doesn't happen and this happens, there's always a possibility that it comes down later, and I don't want to take that risk. Do I think the Clarity Act will pass? I don't even know what the Clarity Act is, honestly. We did get a lower high on Coinbase and MSTR. Green 12-hour guppy on the VIX. Did we get that? Oh, big news. It's not big news yet, but it could be. Tether made another low, guys. Remember how yesterday I was like, please, whoever's watching, and you send Tether down? Tether made another low. So if Tether takes a shit, I'm gonna get so bearish. Which I'm surprised. I am. Usually if Tether goes down right now, they're really giving us exactly what we asked for. Because it was only in 2018 when Tether went down without Bitcoin, and then it told us we were going down. See how Tether went down first and then Bitcoin went down? In 2022, Tether went down after Bitcoin went down. So if they're doing it this way, where Tether's going to go down and we're going to get spoon-fed, I'm going to be so happy. But I can't get excited over a little drop. It's got to keep going. But maybe it does. Right? Tether's been dropping since June 30th. You can see in the other relief rally that wasn't true. Once the relief rally started, Tether started going up. Now Tether's bearish, which is ultra bearish, which is why I'm hoping we can see Tether go lower. That would be very, very nice. Very nice. I don't think we got a VIX 12-hour super guppy. No, we almost did. 10-day SOXL super trend. Did we get that? We bounced right off of it. Damn it. That sucks. We literally bounced right off of it. Oh man, how did I not see that? We bounced right off of it. That's all right. We're watching for, we need a 10-day close below $93. I think we got to 4-day MACD. Yeah, we did. Three-week Cutler RSI. What I write here, what do we got? Yeah, we're definitely getting close, that's for sure. We're definitely right there. We're right at the end of the bear market. We're just missing the capitulation, man. Yeah, see, we're right, we're right at the end. Which this actually bottomed a month after the bottom. And this also bottomed a month after the bottom. But this is still going down. So this has to fall significantly to get down there. And we only have 2 months left. Like, that's what I'm saying. You see that little arrow I just drew? It's all the way out in January, which means the bottom will be in by then. Yeah, I wrote on June 12th, this is what I wrote. Ready? I wrote, the average tops of the rallies are 8 to 25 days before the Moonboy event, currently putting us at around July 18th to August 4th. I wrote that on June 12th. I said the top should be between July 18th and August 4th. The top was July 20th. If that's the top. So if that's not the top, then we have to shoot up this week. And if that doesn't happen, then I think the top is already in. And that's why I have to be open to the top being in already. I'm preparing for the crash after August. This week coming up is my last bull week, and then I go back into my bear bunker forever. I'm bullish. If you're on Robinhood right now, still making money over there. I don't understand. So Robinhood now has doo-doo coins on Robinhood? Is that what's going on? Robinhood put this on their wow, this thing's up 200x. Robinhood put this on their app. And what was the other one? Wrong. No, that coin sucks. Cardano big reversal. You got me. I think the Clarity Act will go through on Wednesday. Is that when they're voting? Wednesday? All right. So I was looking at something this morning. Like random ass charts. But Bitcoin divided by the VIX is hitting the downtrend. And every time the bull market starts, it breaks the downtrend. So we kind of got to go down soon. We are making higher lows, which has never happened. Oh, but it happened in 2018. Look at that. Yeah, so we kind of have to be right here. Because it was making higher lows in 2018, and then we collapsed. I don't think we broke any super trends. Oh, here's a big one. We're sitting right on it. Stock RSI is oversold on QQQ on the weekly time frame. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little nervous that it might not crash, man. Now I'm starting to get nervous that it's not gonna crash. I'm still gonna give it time. But if we're gonna crash, it kind of has to be now. Because when it changes colors from green to gray, that's where the crash is. And if there is no crash, then you go right back up, which means there's no crash. So we actually do have to start going down now, like in the next 3 weeks. We don't have to start going down in the next 2 weeks, but we have to stop. We have to not go up. So I guess technically in the month of August, overall, we do have to go down. But if we don't go down, it's not the end of the world. We just can't go up. Because you can see even here, when you changed from green to gray and you didn't go down, you went up. So we kind of have to go down or sideways in August. That's for sure. Yeah, same thing. Same thing with this one's even worse, actually. We didn't even turn gray yet, but it's close. When we turned gray here, we went down. When we turned gray here, we went down. Technically, this was a bear trap. Turn gray here, you went down. Yeah, it's very rare. Very rare. Yeah, wow, look at that. Yeah, that's nuts. We really do gotta go down. We don't have to go down, but we can't go up. If we go up in August, then our stock market crash could be canceled. Doesn't mean it has to be canceled, but it could be canceled. We didn't turn gray yet, but if we go down again, it will turn gray. And it's very rare that it turns gray. It only turns gray when Bitcoin goes down to the bottom. And then you had your bull trap and bear trap in October. Oh, shit. Gemini made another low. Nobody told me. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Baby, you're talking dirty like that. You can't be talking like that. Wow, Coinbase, did it make another low? Wait, did it? Oh, baby. Baby, Coinbase made another low. Nobody said a word. Wow, Gemini and Coinbase both took out their lows. Yeah, that is ultra bearish. Baby, what are you doing? You trying to sneak behind my back or something? What are you doing? This isn't Amanda's show. No, I'm just kidding. That wasn't nice. It was just... That's because I thought of it's because I thought of the Curry Man. The Curry Man says things that are kind of out of pocket, but I told you, but you don't read chat for 30 minutes. You said Gemini made another low. Let's see. No, you said it's 719 in California. We got potato rot in the house. The bottom is in. Says oligarch. Yeah, we should run a poll. Dude, Coinbase and Gemini both made new lows. Wow. That's a dude. I'm gonna be honest, guys. We're getting exactly what we asked for. If Tether really does go down, I'm gonna start feeling like a kid again. It's very, very rare the market tells you the move's about to start before it starts. Like, yeah, YouTubers tell you that, but they say the same shit for like 2 months and then it finally plays out. If Tether does go down without us, it actually is screaming at you, we're about to go down. It's very rare. But if it actually happens, no, you shouldn't have bought Gemini anyway. Gemini sucks. I didn't realize Coinbase and Gemini both made new lows. Oh, wait a second. I gotta check something. Let me see. The market's not open, so it might not work, but oh, it does work. Yeah, Coinbase is yes, so I have a really interesting application on my computer. According to this, 13% of Coinbase's shares are in profit. 90% of the cost basis for Coinbase is 143 to 206. 70% of the cost basis is 147 to 193. So 90% of Coinbase shareholders are underwater and 10% are holding the price up. So I think if we snap this low, it's capitulation. We're going straight down. And I want to do the same thing for Gemini. Let me see. Yeah, everybody's underwater. Holy shit. I guess that makes sense. It's going to zero. Yeah, dude. 0.62% of the shares are in profit for Gemini. So that means some schmuck bought in down here. Would have been Mr. Meows's. Yeah, that's nuts, man. 0.62% of the shares are in profit. That's funny. But less or 13% of shares are in profit on Coinbase. Oh, what about MSTR? I didn't think. Let me check MSTR. Oh, wow. 33% are in profit. That's a big number, huh? 90% of 90% of MSTR's holders, their average cost is up here. So they're underwater. Well, it's technically this whole thing. 70% is 87 to 110. Yeah, so that means that all the people who bought here either sold or they averaged in and now they're underwater. Yeah, so you can't even believe the people on YouTube, man. The data says that, well, 33% is a lot. But 90% of their 90% of the shareholders is between 84 and 136, which is right here. So if we go below $84, 90% of the holders of MSTR will be underwater. I don't know what, there's no way for me to know what, maybe, let me go back. Let me go back. When did we go down? On the June 29th. Let me see if I could get some information. Yeah, what? Oh, wait a second. On June 26th. Or maybe it's only the people who traded that day. That could be what it is too. I'm not going to speak in absolutes. It could be the shares that were traded that day. So on June 26th, there were 0 shares in profit. But I don't know if that's true. I could be misinterpreting the data. But it could be true because the people who bought down here either sold or they DCA'd on the way up, and maybe they bought in up here and it pulled on their average cost. But it says here that on January 26th, 0% of the shares were in profit. But it could be shares that were traded that day. It could be. I have to be open to that. But either way, 90% of the cost range was between 84 and 170. Yeah, so MSTR people are all underwater big time. I think the next move down is the bottom. It doesn't work for ETFs, though. That would be nice, right? The average cost of SPY doesn't work. Oh, what's another stock? What about Micron? Yeah, we should look at this. Micron went down to 740. When was the bottom? On July 28th. Yeah, see, these dudes are still in profit, man. Yeah, capitulation hasn't occurred. There's a lot of people in profit. 90% of the cost range is between 629 and 1184. Holy shit, these dudes bought in at the top. So again, I don't know. Maybe I'll Google it, but 629 is 629 is very low. Yeah, so but that's what I have drawn. Yeah, if Micron goes below 629, you're in capitulation. 90% of the holders will be underwater. Now again, I don't know if it's 90% of the holders overall, but it's at least 90% of the people who are actively who are actively trading their shares. That could be what it is. It could be what it is. So because I don't know, I'm going to be open to both scenarios. But it looks like oh, wait a minute. No. I see what's happening here. On June 16th. Oh, these motherfuckers. Look at that. On June 16th, yeah, no. I think, dude, I think we're going to be right here. On June 16th, the 90% cost range which is 90% of the people, again, either holding Micron or actively trading Micron, was 377, which is all the way down here. 377 or 1063 and 1063. So on June 16th, which is here, this was the cost basis of 90% of either the holders or active traders on that day. The next day, or I guess over the next week, on July 1st, it jumped from 377 to 433. And then this jumped to 1200. That was on July 1st. And by July 23rd, it jumped to 525 and 1184. That means two things. Either the people who bought down here sold, or everybody bought in up here. It's either, it could be both, of course, but it's either or. And now today's the 2nd of August. Well, I can only look at July 31st. The average for the 90% range is 681. Look at how far up it jumped. So that means either everybody is piling in up here or everybody who bought down here is selling. Because the 90% cost range, I'm going to Google that right now, jumped from 370 to 680 in 4 months. So either the people who bought in down here sold or everybody and their cousin just bought in. I'm going to ask right now. I'm going to get the answer. I'm pretty sure I already got the answer a long time ago, but I want to double check. Oh man, this is a big moment. Okay, here we go. Okay, so it's 90%. This indicates that 90% of all current positions for this asset were acquired at prices. Okay. Is this all holders, all time, or just for the shares traded that day? This is big information. This represents accumulation over historical trading volumes over a given time frame, not just shares that day. Yes, so that I said, so that means 90% of holders have that cost basis. It says yes, it means across all current open positions held in the market, 90% of those shares were acquired at prices falling in that range. Holy shit. So what I just said is true then. So right now, the average cost of an entry on Micron is between 681 and 1176. So that means one more leg down is going to put everybody underwater. Because it says 21% of the shares are in profit right now. That's nuts. I'm gonna ask this too now. What does it say? Yeah, so either capitulation already happened or it's about to happen. That's it. There's no in the middle. I'm getting excited but nervous. Yeah, drum roll, please. So capitulation is either about to happen or it already happened. This metric is the profited shares of the market close. It takes the cost distribution data we looked at and compares it directly to the asset's closing price. Based on estimated cost basis of all current open positions, only 21% of the shares were bought at prices below the recent market close. This means 78% of the market holding this asset is sitting at unrealized loss. Dude, 78% of Micron holders are in loss. Isn't that nuts? That's nuts. And it just started, that just happened up here. So literally everybody was buying the top. Or people who bought in down here were selling. That is nuts. I am actually astounded by that. I don't even know if that's proper English. I forgot about this actually. Yeah, on June 30th, the 90% cost range was between 424 and 1200. Oh my God, how many people bought in on this day? And when did it drop? Or when was the drastic jump? It was in August, basically. Or sorry, it was July. Yeah, so either the dudes were selling or dudes were buying, or both. But according to this, you'll have to verify it on your own. Anything you hear on the internet, you should always verify on your own. But 21% of shares of Micron are in profit. And the lowest, I don't have access to the lowest number, but 90% of the 90% of the holders of Micron will go underwater if we fall below 681. So that means either this is the bottom or the bottom has to be below 681. And if we fall below 681, that puts us at 47%. This one was 33. Well, I guess if you measure from the top, this one was 60. Yeah, but we can't expect you gotta have some type of consistent variable, or not even a variable, I guess a control variable. You can't keep like changing the time frame. So we're looking for purely the drop down to the bottom. We're not looking for a bear market. Okay, this was only 25%. All right, 2018 could be comparable because we're potentially in here somewhere. Let's go in the middle. Let's go here. Is this 47%? No, it's only 37%. This is 47%. Yeah, so I actually do think that we're going to be right or the bottom is in. I don't think there's an in the middle. Because as of July 31st, 90% of the holders go underwater at 681. But here's the thing. Yeah, wow. Wait. We're getting some more information incoming. Okay, on May 29th, May 29th was here. The average cost for 90% of the holders was between 350 and 950. %70 was between 415 and 914. Yeah, so that means while we were here, everybody who got in down here got out, or they added their position. So you have to ask yourself, is this distribution or are we about to go straight up? And I think if it is distribution, there's one more major flush down, and then it goes like this. That's nuts, man. What's another stock? Give me another good stock, man. It doesn't work for ETFs. It only works for stocks. Of course, MSTR is a big one. We care about MSTR, but we already looked at MSTR. Right now, 90% of the holders' cost basis is between 84 and 136. 136 is here. Oh my God, of course it is. Look. And $84 is the other one. Yeah, so my guess would be MSTR breaking $84 should trigger capitulation. That's funny though. It's right at the high from June. And then 70% is 110, which is here. So right now, 33% of holders for MSTR are in profit. Yeah, but how could that be? That means that all these guys must have sold. So I guess when it's at 0, that's where you buy in. Right? Let me go. Not necessarily. Maybe. Because if we go back to, I know you guys can't see what I'm looking at, but I'm reading it to you in real time. If we go back to May 21st, which is here, you had 38% of shares in profit. And then as we went down on June 1st, 25% is still in profit. Then on June 5th, 15% was in profit. Then on June 10th, 0.38% was in profit. Yeah, but then we bounced right after that. Yeah, it went from 0.3% in profit to 21%. So the next day, we shot up. And then it went to 3% on the 17th. Yeah, so they sold that shit the next day. 8% on the 18th. And then it went to 0% on June 23rd. Yeah, so yeah, then it's at 2% on the 4th, 24th. It's at 0% on the 25th. 0% on the 26th. 40, wow, 46%. Yeah, dude, these dudes are selling, man. Every time MSTR goes down, everybody who bought in is selling. I think the next move down is a capitulation. So right now, we're at 33%. Yeah, dude, on the 30th, it was at 60%. And in one day, it went to 33%. 33% are in profit. Yeah, I think the next move down is the bottom. Yeah, we're going to have to look at this. Well, I guess I won't be streaming, but yeah, my guess, the bottom is probably here, man. That's what capitulation is when everybody's in loss. So I was right, man. It's not about the RSI. It's about when people are in loss. That's what capitulation is. I didn't realize that 33% of the shares are in profit, which I'm actually surprised it's that low. Because I imagine people bought in up here, down here, but I guess they either sold or they added to their position. What I find shocking is Micron just went on a god run, and 90% of the holders are going to be underwater if we go below 680, which is nuts because this freaking stock has been doing nothing for 20 years. That's why I find it so hard to believe. I don't know if I even have the right information, but I doubt it's fake because it's legitimate. It's a broker. They're going to give me false information. Yeah, so that means all of these jabrones, they all got out. It's tough. It's tough. I wish I'm not going to speak in absolute terms like I know, but that's what I am. What about Meta? That's what I am taking from this information. Yeah, Meta, 10% of shareholders are in profit. With a 530 cost basis. Oh, that's where we bounced. Well, we just bounced, so we got to go. Wait. Where were we on the 15th of July? Okay, we were up here. So on the 15th of July, 93% of the shares were in profit. Now, what about the 20th of April? It should be 90% again, or that means people loaded the boat. Okay, on April 20th, 76%. So you were at the same price and more shares are in profit here, which means people with higher cost basis sold here or people bought here, which, yeah, 0%. I don't know. 0% of the shares were in profit on March 26th. Yeah, that was right before the bottom formed. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think if it says 0 shares, that's where the bottom is. Because every time the shit goes to 0, it bounces, right? On the 16th, it was at 15%. And by the 26th and the 27th, it was at 0.6 and 0.44. And then 30th, it was at 3%, which was the day of the bottom. It was actually the day after the bottom. Yeah, so I can't say it's going to be 100% accurate, but I guess if this thing hits 0, that's the bottom. At least a local bottom. I always knew about this, but I forgot about it. Yeah, we hit 7% on July 30th, which was here. Yeah, so I don't think that's the bottom then. Because we hit 0% here, and we hit 7% here, and we hit 70% here and 90% here. So when we were down here 2 days ago, 7% of the shares were still in profit, which means it has to go lower than this to hit 0. Yeah, I like that, Chubbs. So where did all the people who bought in back here go? Oh, wait, we can check that. Let's go to, I don't know. You really want to go back to September of 2025? I guess I'll just do it for now because I want to see if this information is even legit or if I'm misinterpreting it. But if we go all the way back to September, damn, I gotta manually click this shit. If we go back to September and the cost basis is extremely low, then we know that they sold. All right, the 90% cost range in September was $500. It's all the way down here. Oh, but I forgot about this. I guess I gotta go back further. Gotta go back to April. Oh, Maron. Yeah, see well, you guys can't see it, but the entire year of 2025, the cost range doesn't change. It stays, it hasn't moved. Okay, here we go. All right, so March 4th of 2025, it was 471. Yes, so something happened here. This was the actual top for Meta, which means this is distribution. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're going to go down. Maybe I'm wrong, but on March 4th, which was after the top, the 90% cost range was 471 was the floor, which was here. Oh my God, that's where it bottomed. Yeah, but when we got to April, did it hit 0? Oh shit, it did. On April 21st, it hit 0.41%. Was that the bottom? Yeah, buddy. Yeah, I think we're going to have to look into this. So somebody sold all their shares in here. Yeah, we got to follow this, man. I mean, I guess you guys can't, but... So my question is, now I'm curious for myself, to hell with you guys. My question is, where did all of these people go? Did they sell in April of 2024? Right now I'm at November of 2024, which is here. And the cost is 428. So my question is, how far back do I have to go? Oh, these little cockroaches sold. Yeah, these little cockroaches sold here. Yeah, see, now I'm on June of 2024, and the average cost, the floor is all the way down at 300. Yeah, so the little cockroaches sold all their shares over here. Yeah, see, I'm in April and it's 288. So they started selling their shares on this cluster here. But do you guys see how big this gap is? But this gap is fucking, there's no gap. Like right now, there's 0% shares in profit. And here, of course, there's 97% because we're making new all-time highs. But the cost basis floor is catching up to the actual price as we go higher. And that gap shrinks after this. So all the people who bought down here sold in here. Or they added to their position. I don't know which it is. But I'm trying to see where the real close is. So we actually topped March of 20. Okay, let's go to February of 2024. So if I'm correct, before this, the number should drastically shrink. I hope so. All right, so right now we're at 283. On February 1st, we're at 283. February 1st is 283. This is our floor. So on February, the floor was here. In November, it was 237. Yeah, so I guess these dudes are just selling on the way up. I mean, okay, here, wait a minute. Where were we on October? Ah, they were selling in here too. Because now the floor is all the way down here at 200. Yeah, so you know what, dude? That hodling shit, they don't even do it themselves. Every time we go sideways, everybody starts selling. That's interesting. Yeah, so, oh, wait. I think I just found my answer and then I'm done. I know this is probably boring for some people, but I don't give a shit. Okay, so on October 24th, which was here, the 90% cost range floor was 201. If we go back to July, which is the same price. Yes, now we're getting the juicy stuff. Holy shit. Yeah, those little cockroaches. Okay, so gentlemen and the three ladies, not that you care, but on October 2023, the cost floor was 200, and when you were the same price in July, it was all the way down at 124, brother. So a lot of people who bought down here sold here. That's what it is. I needed to see it with my own eyes because I was curious, where are all of these people getting out? And I just assumed that they hold to the top, but they don't. They get out as soon as the rough gets going. However the saying goes, when the going gets rough, they start selling. Yeah, that's interesting. I could look at this all day. Holy shit. In June, yeah, on July 3rd, it was 113. Yeah, so these guys literally ran for the hills. At the first sign of despair, they all started selling, even though it went higher. So it doesn't mean that they were right, but I was just curious as to where they all went, and this is where they got out. Okay, so that's why I'm looking at this. So we know it's legit. That's why I did this. I know for some people it's probably stupid and a waste of their time, and I probably lost a lot of viewers. I haven't read the chat. But I needed to see with my own eyes, where are all the people who bought in down here? And the reality is they already got out. So your favorite YouTuber who's telling you to buy MSTR is probably not even holding MSTR. Because right now, 33% of the shares are in profit, but 90% of the cost floor is $84, which means your favorite YouTuber either sold or he added at the top and he's underwater, which means that he's about to go. If we go down again, he's going to go underwater. And that's where I start to get in. When we hit 0%, I don't get in because it's 0%, but I've noticed that every time it hits 0%, the bottom is close. And how can you hit 0%? Well, either the people who bought in here sell, or the people who bought in here buy in even more. So I think what could be at play is if somebody bought in here, but they don't sell, somebody who bought in here does sell, that also lowers the floor. But we are so close to the bottom that at some point it's going to be the macro bottom. It has to be. And because the 90% floor is $84, now you're in the territory. I mean, you don't even need a special tool to tell you that. If you bought in here, the next move down, you're underwater. But the fact that it's giving you information that you can't actually see, which is 90% of MSTR holders bought in this range. All of these people are gone already, or they're in here, and their high cost basis is tugging on the small cost basis, which means if we go down into this box between 68 and 42, almost 99%, or I'm making that number up, but not really, because if we go back to June, yeah, look, on May 4th, 99% of the shares were in profit. What was May 4th? Yeah, that was the top. All right, so this is very useful information to me because 99% of MSTR shares were in profit right here, which means all of these cockroaches who got in up here, they're already out. They're out. If this is true, which I'm not saying it is, but if it is true, 99% of shares were in profit up here, which means all of these guys are gone. They already capitulated on this. Now, here's the thing though. People want to say that the people that sold up here being out means that people think the bottom is in. But that's never how the market bottoms. The market bottoms when people who bought here get out, which is why long-term holders need to get out. Because The people who bought here got out on the first drop. That's the equivalent of the short-term Nupal turning red. Yes, I'm spitting fucking heat right now. Yeah, I am so bearish, man. That's the same thing as the short-term Nupal turning negative. You see how the short-term Nupal was at the peak May, June, July, August, and then it hit capitulation on the first leg down. But we know that the short-term holders don't dictate the market. It's the long-term holders. Because in every single bear market, the short-term holders make multiple lows. You hit a low here, you hit a low here, and you hit a low here. This chart is short-term holders only. It's not the overall market. So we had a low here, we had a low here, and we had a low here. We only had one low. If you're going to compare these to this, I think that's asinine. Because in every bear market, you've had big capitulations. 1, 2, 3. You have little ones too, but we're not counting the little ones. We've only had one big capitulation so far, and people are saying that it's the bottom. I don't agree with that. Yeah, I think we're going down, guys, because the regular Nupal, it never hit negative. It's not even close. Yeah, so we never hit capitulation. Yeah, I'm sticking to my guns. I'm bearish. I got to turn on my AC. I'm sweating. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I'm sticking to the guns, man. Oh, man. I need to be 1,000% sure. 1,000% sure. You hear me? 1,000% sure. We got the Zeke for 56 months says, "What's up, broski? Are we ready for Zamoon?" Not yet, but I am going to start making my plan very, very shortly. I am a believer in repetition. I've been here for long enough to where I've seen it happen multiple times. I don't shy away from the fact that I was a moon boy back here. I think that's going to help me. Because now the same arguments that I was making, everyone else is making. And I was bearish. Well, I was unsure back here, but I didn't have any money in the market because I believed in the bear hype. And it was right. And I'm telling you right now, here and here, people are saying the same shit that they're saying right now. So I've seen it. And I can only imagine it's the same thing that people said back here. So the reason I bring that up is because if Bitcoin is going to do what Bitcoin always does, did I have my headphones on that whole time? Yeah, I had my headphones on that whole time. I don't know why. That's why I was sweating. If Bitcoin is going to do what Bitcoin always does, then we must spend 100 days below the realized price. We must. It must happen. It will happen. And that means that I can't be bullish until we spend 100 days below the realized price. Which at this rate, if we fell below the realized price in September, then 100 days would be January or February. If we don't fall below the realized price until October, then we're not going up until February or March. So we got plenty of time to plan for the moon. I don't think it's anytime soon. Dude, I'm excited now, baby. I'm so glad I looked at that. I did not realize that both Coinbase and Gemini made new lows. I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Damn it, Bobby. I didn't see it. So let's see what happens. But I appreciate the sub. What about you guys want to check BMNR? Let's check BMNR. BMNR bag holders. Wow, 65% is in profit. BMNR, 65% is in profit. Wow, they really bought the dip. Yeah, but if we fall below 13.5, then 90% are underwater. Yeah, I think we're missing the last move down. What about Robinhood? Let's check Robinhood. Yeah, now I'm addicted to this. I had this forever. I just never looked at it. Yeah, right now, 27% of Robinhood holders are in profit. So all of these guys are out. They're all out. Do we want to check when they got out? Yeah, 95% were in profit on the 15th. That was here. 98% was in profit on the 6th. Oh, this is June. Sorry. Yeah, wow. 98% of the shareholders were in profit. Yeah, so all of these guys are gone then. They all sold. They all sold already. So now we got to get these people out. Yeah. These guys all sold already. Now we got to get these guys out. And their average cost is coming up. Their average cost is $72. So if Robinhood falls below $72, well, I guess that makes sense actually, because we spent a long time down here. Yeah, that's understandable. You basically spent the same amount of time. Yeah, so in order to get these guys out, we got to fall below $72. I think they're gonna go for it. All right, last one, and then we'll look at Bitcoin. I want to see what the average cost was at $63. What day was that? That was the 31st of March. Last one. I appreciate the sub though from Zeke. Yeah, the average cost was $67. Yeah, so we got to go below $67 and everybody's in red. Yeah, so all of these guys are gone. Wow, that makes me feel better about myself because I always thought that people buy in and they just hold forever, but they don't even do that. Yeah, so this is literal proof that that fantasy that's being sold by grifters is bullshit because all of these people are gone and they probably got out here. All of these people are gone. The evidence is in the pudding. It's there. And those billionaires that you see on Bitcoin, and they never sell. And they got lucky. They got lucky, man. Don't let them tell you otherwise. Yeah. Let me cope because I'm not a billionaire. We got Chris for 10. Chris for 10 says the Black Swan might be starting with this cold card hardware wallet. Many are saying this could be the beginning of a larger multi-wallet hack. Litecoin to the rescue. I appreciate the 10 from Mr. Christopher. Yeah, I don't know what that is, cold card hack. I think I've seen a YouTube headline, but I didn't click the video. Whatever the reason is, we're going down. It didn't happen yet. It's coming though. Don't worry. Right now, it's in the incubator. Yeah, I can't say Litecoin looks that good. It's doing what it's been doing for the last couple of years. Sorry, last couple months, which I think is good for us because we're bearish. But Litecoin is behaving the same way that it always has. It's kind of doing nothing. Can I rule out a final spike? Again, I don't know. I think it would be nice if we did get a final spike so then everybody can get out. But I have the same projection for Litecoin as I do for Bitcoin. I still think this is possible, but I'm not going to cling on to it. We are running out of time. I wrote in June that the top should be between... I wrote in June specifically, I said to myself, the top should be between July 18th and August 4th, which August 4th is obviously in 2 days. So it's possible that the top already formed. As you can see, the top was indeed between August 4th and July 18th. Sorry. Yeah, it was July 26th. So I am open to the top being in already. I'm also self-aware that I don't know. But my charts say either this was the top or there's another squeak and then it's the top. I don't know. I can't really say this is likely, though, because of how close we are to our Moonboy chart. So if you're bullish on Litecoin, I do wish you the best. I think 3 months from now, Litecoin's probably at $30. So you might have another rally if you want to escape. If not, it's entirely up to you. I'm not saying I'm going to be right. But I think because Litecoin is doing what it's been doing all year, I have to remain bearish because every time Litecoin is doing, or every time Litecoin has done what it's doing, we went down. And this is a bigger depiction because Bitcoin went to the moon and Litecoin did nothing and then we went down. Which is why you got to be open to this being a ginormous bear flag, which did actually break. Now, I'm not a TA guy, but if I were, I would be looking for a minimum target of $28 for Litecoin. Was this a 618 retracement or a 0.5 retracement? Oh, it was a 0.5 retracement. Was this a 618 retracement? Yes, it was. So I'm not a TA guy, but there's always a chance you had a high, a low, a 618 rejection, and now you're going down to the first support at $28. If you told me to put a gun to my head, what am I picking? I think Litecoin hits $28, at least. Dude, I'm getting super bearish, man. I'm getting excited. I can smell it in the air. But I appreciate the 10, man. It helps out a lot. It helps out a lot in times of despair. I came to the realization, yeah, diamond handing it killed me. Diamond handing has costed me everything. Every single time I've made a lot of money, I said to myself, oh, I'm just going to hodl. And I lost it all. I never actually lost all my money from making a trade. Well, maybe when I was younger, of course. Well, I always make the money and then I give it back because I hodl. Oh, I don't want to miss the move, even though it was already the move. If I look at it from just a trade perspective, I'll do much better. And that's going to be my attitude moving forward. There's no such thing as hodling. This time around, I'm going to have a whole new mindset. I'm not doing this hodling bullshit. I lost all my money doing that. The way that the market works, at least for me, and I'm sure a lot of people already told you this, but it goes up and then it goes sideways. So this is where I'm in the market. This is where I'm out of the market. It's the same thing in the bear market now. The problem is we've been going sideways for so long that this is either the bottom, like the Moon Boys think, or we're going down. We've been consolidating for a long time. Long time. Long time coming. Long time. You see how here we consolidated for a long time. Long time Bobby. My new name is Long Time Bobby. Long time Larry. Larry. When I banned him. I was like, what happened to Larry? I forgot I banned him. Long time Larry. Long time coming. Yeah, we're looking for a long road home. It makes sense. The longer you go sideways, the longer the move is. They call me Long Time Larry. This one was actually smaller. Long Time Larry. All right, that's annoying. But yeah, look. Either the Moon Boys are right and it's different this time, or we're about to go straight down. And unfortunately, with the amount of time we have left, if we don't start going down soon, it kind of has to be straight down. Which is why I will admit the longer we sit here, the less likely it is that we do go straight down. But it's all good as long as we come back to the low in August. We could sit up here all August and it doesn't mean anything as long as we come back to the low. Because if we're at 58K on September 5th, we already established it doesn't take long to go down. So let's just say we're at the low on September 5th. We can take a measurement from here to here. It was only 7 days and we fell by 28%. So if we go down 28%, that's literally the bottom at 41,000. And we would still have 40 days to get down there. So I'm okay. See, now when I put it in that perspective, I feel better already. The only thing I need to see as a bear is the price of Bitcoin go back to the low in August. If we go back to the low in August at any time, we're right on schedule. That's all I need. I don't need 40K. I don't need 50K. I just need 58K. Because we already pointed out that when you break the low, it doesn't take long to go down. This whole move, again, was 20%. And it took 8 days. So even if we go down 20%, that's still 46,000. So we're fine. We're fine. We're all right. Reading about the hack, that's a big reason people don't mess with Bitcoin. Your coins are always at risk. Yeah, I remember the grifters sold me on a Ledger Nano S back in 2017, and I bought it, and I had my 2000 XRP, and I was like, "Yeah, man, I got a flash drive." And then you realize if you lose the flash drive, it's GG. It's a good idea, though. You hook it up to a computer, and then you send your XRPs through a wire. It's pretty smart, but I don't know. Market maker seeing all of us looking at 40K as the bottom. Yeah, they said the same thing in 2022 and the same thing in 2018, my man. I'm not falling for the cope. And you got to ask the other question, too. If everybody's looking at 40K, why can't it go to 30K? You know? Think about it. Bitcoin only cares about percentages. It doesn't care about the number. If everybody's looking at 40K as per Vegas Claw, 20% below that is 32,000. 10% below that is 36,000. That's where this bottom was. And I believe that's where this bottom was too. Yeah, so we might go 10 to 15% below than what people think. People think the bottom is 48K. I see that number everywhere. So 10 to 15% below that would be 43 and 40. Yeah. Yeah. If you lose the drive, you can buy another, enter your seed phrase. Yes, so you need to store your seed phrase on a piece of paper somewhere. Everybody has made their decisions. Everybody has made their decisions, gentlemen. Start your engines. This is the biggest moment of my life. This is it, baby. Time. Dude, if we really go down there, it's gonna be like Armageddon. You're gonna see the most outrageous YouTube thumbnails, dude. Danish for 10 says getting chopped up. Should I sell everything and buy back in October, or most alts already close to their bottom and just hold? I need not financial advice. I appreciate this, the 10 from Danish. Now, Danish, I'm not an expert and I could be wrong, but in my opinion, Bitcoin has to go down 30 to 40%, which means the altcoins should also go down 30 to 40%. Is it possible that your altcoins don't do that? Of course. Is it likely? Probably not. If I had to guess where we are in 3 months, it's November 2nd. We're having a grand old time, and Bitcoin's at 41,000, which means Litecoin's at $30, Ethereum's at 1,100, Solana's at 50 or 40. Whatever you're holding is probably cut in half. Doge is probably at 5 or 6 cents, probably 5. I'm bearish. I think we're going lower. I can't tell you to buy or sell, but I would not want to be holding crypto after this week. After this Friday, I turn back into Mr. Bear full time. There's no more relief rallies. There's no more time left. Not only does our Moonboy chart say it's time to go down, but the 4-year cycle also says it's time to go down. If we break it down by the halving, by the tops and the bottoms, however you slice it, it's time to go down. I don't know if you were here for the live stream, but a couple of days ago, we went over where the bottom could be. And historically, we bottom around 520 to 540 days before the halving. There's a lot of numbers on the chart, so I'm trying to find it. It should be... Oh, well, putting the halving on the chart should help. Yeah, so the first halving to the bottom was 768 right here. The second halving to the bottom, yeah, what's throwing me off is this green line. But the green line is 300 days to the bottom. So there should really be a second green line. I'm going to make this line... I'm going to make this line orange. No, it's too... let's make it blue. Okay, so the blue line is going to represent 300 days from the top. And the green line is going to represent the bottom. Now, in each bear market, you can see the green line is 883 days post-halving, 768 days post-halving, 923 days post-halving. So it is getting longer. That is something to note. So 923 days post-halving is November 1st. So I expect the bottom to be here somewhere. Now, as we went over, if you're measuring the distance from the halving to the bottom, then you have to measure from the halving to the top. And from the halving to the top in 2018 to 2021, it was 546 days. From the halving to the top in 2017, it was 522 days. So it was 22 days or 24 days longer than the prior market cycle. That could have a lot to do with why the halving was further away from the bottom. So if we take that into consideration and we say, because our top was actually closer to the halving, it's also likely that the bottom is closer to the halving. So if it's 890 days, that's September 30th. If it's 910 days, it's October something. So I have to assume that no matter how you measure it, if you use the halving, if you use the bottom to the top, top to the bottom, everything says October. So in my opinion, if history is going to repeat, we should bottom in October or November. And that means that whatever you're holding is probably going to go down. Not financial advice. But I do appreciate the 10 from Danish. I do appreciate the 10 from Mr. Danish. I don't think the bottom is in yet. Now, what this blue line is around 310 days to 300 days from the peak. And that is, I believe, next week. Yes. And this is what gets me excited, baby. Talk to me, baby. Look at how close these lines are. Look at all the other bear markets. Yeah. This one's a little bit further away. Now, what about the halving to the blue line? That's going to be interesting. That's going to be the answer if it's going to play out. This is 819 days. This was 680 days. So we're looking for a number between 820 and 680. It's 860. It's not terrible. This one's got to be somewhere in there. Yeah, it is beautiful. 840. Now again, you could argue technically it's getting longer, which is true, but the top is also getting further away from the halving. This time around, the top was closer to the halving. So I expect, maybe I'm wrong, but I expect that this should be closer as well. Yeah, I think we're getting ready to go down. I love it. I'm ultra bearish. I'm ultra bearish right now. And the fact that the stock RSI is exactly where it needs to be to go down, it makes me excited. Like, you don't want to be bearish when the stock RSI is going up. You want to be bearish when it's going down. Right now, it's at the top already. You could definitely argue that the 5-day is going up, which is why I'm open to the rally continuing. But once August is over, it's time to go down. And I told you guys this in January. Every major market move... Sorry, let me rephrase it. When the 5-day stock RSI is overbought, every time it's gone down in a bear market, you've seen a major move. I would obviously prefer if the 5-day stock RSI did hit overbought, but I can't get what I want all the time. I'm happy with what we got. But I just want you all to know that in 2018, the 5-day stock RSI didn't hit overbought. And we went down. So the 5-day stock RSI doesn't have to hit overbought. But in a bear market, when the 5-day stock RSI rolls over, you get a monster move down. The 4-day stock RSI is overbought. And you can technically say the same thing. When the 4-day stock RSI rolls over, we go down. And what's interesting is in 2018, you still didn't have a 4-day stock RSI. So we actually have more power now than in 2018. But the only question you have to ask yourself is, do you believe in the 4-year cycle? There's no other questions to ask. Do you believe in the 4-year cycle? And for me, it's easy. I'm not saying I'm going to be right, but for me, it's easy because I did everything in my power to disprove the 4-year cycle and say that the top was in Q1 and the top was still in Q4. And now I see Moon Boys using the same argument that I used, but in reverse. So that's why I'm preparing for a crash. And it would be easier to be bullish if we didn't have evidence. We just saw Coinbase make another low. We just saw MSTR take a shit a month ago. Not to mention, again, I made this chart in December. Now, I'm not telling you that I'm going to be right, but for me, I made this chart back here, and the fact that we're right here, I'm sticking to the plan. I think we're coming down here. And if we're down here, I'm getting in because the bull run's going to start. Yeah. Yeah. The question you have to ask yourself, do you believe in the 4-year cycle? If the answer is no, then you can do whatever you want. If the answer is yes, then we're on the cusp of capitulation. Look at Coinbase. Coinbase is bouncing off the same support. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th time now. Technically, you got to move it up a little bit. This cannot hold forever. It can't. I bet you if you go on the weekly, you get, yeah, look at that. You can't hold this forever. It's either going to go like this or it's going like this. There's no more time left. And I didn't even think to check the Bollinger Band percentile on Coinbase. Give it to me. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we're getting something. It's coming. You guys can hear the excitement in my voice. It's coming, baby. Talk to me, baby. You're either going straight up or straight down. Yeah. This is it. This is it. This is it. This is it. I'm not saying I'm going to be right, guys. I want you to understand that. I'm not saying I'm going to be right. I'm telling you, may God have mercy on your soul and mine as well. Because this move is going to be nuts. This is it. It's time. It's almost time. Now, I'm actually getting nervous, but also excited. I'm either right or wrong. This is it, baby. It's not. We're going to get another candle tonight on the weekly. I wonder if we're going to get a blue bar. Probably not. Yeah, this is it, guys. We already got one on the 5-day, don't forget. We're here, we're here. It's now or never. Place your bets, no more bets. If I'm right, I become a casino guy full time. I'm gonna make an Instagram account or I'm gonna stream the casino on Instagram. Riser Shies in for 2 says short MSTR on Coinbase. I'm not telling you, I don't know, not financial advice. I don't give out trading targets. I'm not a trader, I'm just a grifter, don't forget. I got a vacuum. I got grass under my foot. I appreciate the 2 from Riser Shizer, but I can't tell you what to do. Which has the most downside? I would probably play it safe with MSTR. Not financial advice, of course. It's tough. You can always do both, not financial advice. Can we get some momentum on the screen, please? Green's on the top. Yes. Can we go back in time and see if we have any momentum? Okay, so what's interesting here is the 5-day stock RSI actually is in the same spot. It's a little lower in 2018. It's a little higher in 2022. But in both prior bear markets, it's not overbought. But is the 4-day? That's the question. In 2022, it wasn't. It's actually oversold. In 2018, it wasn't either. That's unfortunate. 2014, it was oversold. Yeah, so I am open to another rally, but that would be it. I do think in 4 months we're sitting here. Because we discussed this. We discussed this exact situation a couple months ago. Remember? For our Moonboy chart, we said we want to see the momentum spiking into the Moonboy event. Is anybody going to watch the Moonboy event? I don't think it's visible for me. I can only see 20% of it. I'm going to try to anyway, but yeah, look, we got what we asked for. We got what we asked for. Literally, brother, we're literally going down into the orange line. This is just beautiful. I have to trust my guns. I got to stick to my gut, baby. Give it to me. Yeah. Give it to me, baby. Yeah. Yeah, here's your proof. Here's your proof. I'm not showing you proof to say, look at what I drew. I'm showing you proof so I stick to my plan. This is what we had drawn in July. No. What day is this? I don't know. I guess it, well, I could tell you actually. We drew this on June 15th. We said stock RSI's got to come up here. Now, the problem with this is the 5-day stock RSI. So I'm not a liar. I'm not going to lie to you. What I have drawn on this picture is the 5-day stock RSI. Because I was assuming Bitcoin was going to hit 70,000 or 80, whatever. I don't know what price that is. I think it looks like 74. But the 4-day stock RSI is up there. I don't know if the 5-day stock RSI is going to get up there. It could, which is why I'm not saying we have to go down yet. But I am saying we're getting very close. If the 5-day stock RSI has to come up here, then we have to go higher. But the question I have to ask myself is, does the 5-day stock RSI have to get up there? In all other scenarios, it has. Well, technically this one it didn't. But we've also never had this scenario in a bear market. And when I take that into consideration, if I look at where we are in the bear market versus where we are in the other bear markets, I just told you that the 5-day stock RSI did not hit overbought. So I have to make an executive decision. Do I take the fact that the 4-day stock RSI is overbought, which the same rule applies? You can see 4-day stock RSI curled down into the orange line. 4-day stock RSI curled down into the orange line. 4-day stock RSI was already crashing into the orange line. 4-day stock RSI went down, then up, then down. Always possible. Here, it went down. The fact that we're up here tells me that there's a very high chance it's going to come back down. Now, could it go down and then up and then down? Of course. I don't know. But this is my prediction. I think the stock RSI is down here in October. I think we're at the end of the rally. I just don't know how long it's going to last. I don't, and I'm not going to claim to know. I don't know. But for me personally, I do think starting August 10th, it's time to be bearish. Maybe it's time to be bearish now, but I'm not obsessed with it. I'm trying to give myself as much room for error as possible. Because once we make our decision, there's no going back. All right, it's one of those moments in life. It's very rare. For some. For some of you, it doesn't matter. But for me, life is going to ask me, are you sure? And I have to say yes. And right now, I'm about 98% sure, but I have to be 100% sure. So, good luck. But we're at that moment. I go on YouTube and X, and people are saying, everyone's saying the bottom's at 40K, so it's not coming. That's a very common viewpoint. And that's why I looked at Ethereum the other day, and Ethereum does have the 5-day stock RSI. So I don't know how long we can stay up here with no price action. People argue maybe we're here, maybe we are, but this drop was monstrous. 26%. That'll bring us down to a new low. We can't stay up here forever. The price got to move. Price has to move up. I argue if the price doesn't move up by August 10th, it's not moving up. And if you go to the 6th day, it's even bigger. This is it. We're at that. We're there. It's now or never. I am respecting the bullish propaganda. I have to. Because this is still bullish. And I can't say, oh my God, we're bearish when this is up. Which is why in a dream scenario, it would be up here. I mean, who knows? Maybe it makes a higher high somehow. It's not impossible. That's what happened here. Yeah, that happened here too, actually. Maybe it does. MS or not MSTR, inverse head and shoulders. Yeah, I saw that too. I don't even know how to draw that. How do you even... Should be here somewhere. Oh, it's right here. Yeah, here's the shoulder, here's the head, here's the shoulder, bada bing. 100K is next. But wouldn't we have to hit 73K first to make the neckline? Or do we already... Yeah, I don't know if that works. Here's the shoulder. Here's the head. Here's the shoulder. Don't we have to connect? It's interesting that it does. Yes, so we hit 68K, everybody gets bullish, and then we go down. Yeah, but this is saying 68K in September. We don't have enough time for that. You're talking about the 4-hour? Oh, nice. Inverse head and shoulders. I see what you're saying. Hell yeah, baby. Hell yeah. Send it. Yes, sir. That's kind of like this. Maybe not. Maybe. Then down. Yes, no. Yeah, why are these not the same? These are the same. We're right here. One more rally and then a crash. I'm open to that. I am very open to that. That was my original idea. I thought we would hit 68 to 70K, but I don't know if we're going to get there. But that's exactly what happened at the top. And that's why Coinbase is so important, because Coinbase was bearish over here. And Coinbase is bearish now. Yeah, that Coinbase drop was a big, big sign, man. That's why I want to see Tether go down too. If Tether goes down too, it's even more bearish. Sunny was door dashing for $40 an hour. That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. That's more than what I make. Right now, I'm at $22 for 2 hours. And the YouTube's going to take 30% of that. Should I start running ads? You think that would boost my ad revenue? I'm gonna run an ad. I haven't run an ad in like 10 months. I'm gonna run an ad. I see people on YouTube saying they stream on Twitch and they run ads and they make some good money. Maybe I gotta start running ads. Maybe I'll do it in the bull run. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break. I'm gonna start saying that. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break. Thanks for tuning in. Let's see if it boosts the revenue. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break. Did anybody get hit with an ad or no? I hit press ad. Do you think you can ever work a normal 9 to 5? I mean, if I ever have to, I will. How do you know that I don't? Maybe that's why I'm streaming early today, because my shift is in the afternoon. They want people in the afternoon on Sundays. That's why it's good to be anonymous, so you guys don't know. Maybe that's why my streaming schedule has been all over the place. Vegeta got an ad? Yeah, I lost 10 viewers because of that. Wow. Let's see if they come back. Let's see if they come back. Oh, they're coming back. Nice. Yeah, I don't know if that was worth it. I lost a lot of viewers on that. Was it worth the extra 10 cents? I don't know. Yeah, they actually left. Little cockroaches actually left. Oh, man. You got the Harbor Freight ad? How long was the ad? Maybe, you know what? Maybe in the bull market, when the bull market comes, I'm gonna make my channel like a newscast. I'm gonna read you guys the news, wear a little suit, and say, we'll be right back after this quick commercial break. Yeah, and then I'll make a little loading screen for the people that don't have ads. It'll say be back in 1 minute, and I'll just spam the ad button. Yeah, that'll be a real sellout. Oh yeah, somebody said yesterday Bonk made a new low. Is that true? Oh yeah, it is actually. I skipped it, so 5 seconds. Oh, I got my viewers back. You guys actually came back. Maybe we found a new business model. If I stream for 3 hours and I run an ad every 40 minutes, I don't know if that's going to boost the revenue. Yeah, but the problem is in a bull market, there's more people watching, so you get more ad revenue. Yeah, I don't know. I'll try it. That's what the guy from Agenda Free TV does on reporting the news. Agenda Free TV. Let's see. Agenda Free TV. Oh, this guy actually does the news though. Yeah, people love the news. Man, maybe it's time to make the jump. You guys just love the news. Yeah, you know what else I saw? People love the weather too. There's like there's weather people on YouTube now. Yeah, you guys love the news. The problem is I don't like the news, which means it becomes a job, not a passion. That new low is the Wyckoff Spring, extremely bullish. It could be, man. Just for that, we'll be right back after a quick commercial break. I clicked it again. I clicked it again. I'm getting greedy now. I'm gonna make an extra 50 cents. We'll be right back on this quick commercial break. I don't think it really matters for 100 viewers. You probably need like thousands of viewers. That's not gonna really do anything. All right. What's the plan here? Are we ultra bearish? I think we discussed a lot today. We discussed a lot today, man. Oh, the RSI is about to turn bearish. Hold on. We're getting close to breaking the RSI line. What about the 2-day? Do we get a new candle? We get a new candle today. Keep an eye on the 2-day candles. The 2-day MACD. If the 2-day MACD turns red, it could be a sign it's time to go down now. It's been that way since October. Oh, we're not even close, actually. No, we still got a little bit more time. Yeah, I'm turning back into full-blown bear on August 10th, Sunday. I got one more week of being a moon boy, and then I'm bearish again. You hear that, moon boys? I'm on your team for another week. Team moon boy. But once we go red, I'm done. Right? Don't we have a new moon coming up? Yeah, that's the 13th. Yeah. Yeah. That's another reason why I'm open to another rally. Because typically the low forms around the white moon. So if we can carve out a bottom, then go up, and that's it. Yeah, wait, where are the full moons? We should mark that on the chart too. That should be at the end of August, August 28th. So we should be looking for a low around here. And then the 26th again. And then October. Yes, so there's two options here. If you're a moon believer, which I'm not the biggest moon guy, you do gotta admit though, the last three tops were on a new moon. This one was a little earlier, but if you're a big moon believer, we could get something like this, where we go wherever we're gonna go, we rally into the new moon, then we go down into the next full moon, then we go up, then we go down into the next full moon. And then there's two options. Either this is the bottom around here, and then we get a rally, and then we get a higher low, in October and then we just kind of do this, or we actually bottom at the end of October. If you're a moon guy. If you're not a moon guy, then don't worry about it. We talked about the moon, and the moon guy, the moon guy spawns in. I mentioned the full moon, and the moon guy spawns in. The August new moon is 100% crash. Welcome, Mr. Moon. Mr. Moon himself. Clarity Act. Does anybody even know what the Clarity Act is? Or do they just run around from chat to chat saying Clarity Act? Bear party this Friday night? Maybe. If this plays out, maybe we'll have a bear party. 2 hours and 20 minutes. I've talked to the moon yesterday during my night walk, and it told me we're going down. He is not ready yet to move as the moon. This guy's name is Jabroni. How many Bitcoins am I gonna buy? I don't know. Maybe none. Depends how this even plays out. Maybe it is a super cycle after all. All right, jabrones. That'll be enough for today. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break. We shall return tomorrow. Our friend in the chat says we have a head and shoulders pattern, potentially leading us up to 77,000. We'll see if it plays out. Lace Demon says I'm asking the same question for the 5th time. Are you talking to me? That seems a little hostile for somebody that came here for the 2nd day. Do I still go for long walks? Yeah, I see the Jesus guy all the time. I saw him in the supermarket once. I was buying ice cream and he shouted across the store, "Hey, man. What's up, man?" What's up, man? How you doing? Yeah, I see him all the time. He's a nice guy, man. Clarity Act means all these cryptos are clearly scams. Karaoke says we're going to 97K, my man. Tell him to pray for me. Why? It sounds like you're not selling your coins. Danish, are you really gonna not sell? You're really gonna hold all the way down there? Come on, man. You've been here for a long time. You're really gonna hold all the way down there? Not financial advice. Dude, can you at least tell us what coin you're holding? So we can assess the situation? Or do you not want us to know? We'll be right back after this quick commercial break. I actually hit the button too. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break. I'm 40% crypto. Oh, okay. Oh, you're holding Solana. My brother in Christ. Pond? Oh, try not to laugh. Sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I'm not laughing at you, I swear. Bro, there's no way you're holding this, though. Try not to laugh challenge. Come on, man. Dude, this thing has been bearish since 2022. This can't be the right pond. This, maybe you're holding something else. See? Pond. You holding pond? Is it? Wait, this is the same coin. No. Somebody already asked me about this. We had a double top rejection at the 382 retracement. We never broke the 382, so it never went up. This isn't you, is it? Is Dinesh and John Doe the same person? I used to think so, but they're not. They're just very similar. I just keep buying and selling. Oh, okay, so you're trading. Yeah, I mean, if you're trading it, that's different. You can go in and out. That's fine. I thought you were holding it all the way down. That's okay, then yeah. I thought you were buying in and holding. Yeah, if you're still holding for a pump, I don't necessarily disagree with you. I'm not 100% sure we're going down yet. In the back of my head, I'm still open to another rally. If we get that rally, that's where it turns bearish. I also think this could be the top. Now, that's not very helpful, which is okay. But I think we're hitting the time where if this pump doesn't happen in the next 2 weeks, it's not coming. And this is the top. We're already past it. I do understand the argument for another rally. I also understand the argument for another top. However, in both instances, Solana's going to $40, in my opinion. So I don't think it matters. And I'm not obsessed with it because I think Solana's going to $40. Dude, Vegeta, I haven't run an ad in like 10 minutes, man. 5 minutes. All right, gentlemen. It has been a pleasure. We are open to another move up. It is possible. It doesn't have to happen. But I think after this Friday, I'm turning back into Mr. Bear. So, as always, stay safe. None of this is financial advice. We shall return tomorrow. We do have a 15-day bear cross on Tesla. That's not the best sign. Doesn't mean it's automatically bearish. But we shall return tomorrow. So I appreciate the support. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break. No, I'm just kidding. As always, stay safe. None of this is financial advice. And I will see you soon. Take care.